match as well, so even that's going to increase how much Earth Spirit can make plays across the map. I like the Storm ban. You know, we saw what Dire were able to do kind of with the Lifestealer Storm, and it's already a great Lifestealer game. Like, it's very good against the Coddle. You've got this free magic immunity to be able to deal with the Will-O-Wisp, and Earth Spirit's very kind of magical orientated. They don't have any way to go through BKB right now, which is a little worrisome. Of course, you got to make sure you don't give Lifestealer a free game, because we saw what they're able to do if X gets this Lifesteal. They are going to ban the Troll, so there we go. There's at least some prioritization, with no real surprise there. So a lot of kind of bans through the second phase to enable this Lifesteal. I mean, Razor just soaking up all the damage is incredible. The Troll matchup, both don't really kill each other. Still feels like Lifesteal is okay, but very intrigued actually. I guess the Coddle spam with Whirling Axes could get really annoying through the laning stage.
5 seconds remaining.
Wonder if they're going to ban out another like Infest. I think Centaur's pretty good. We saw they try and play it against the Coddle. It didn't work as well. Of course, you kind of get slept up once and then you can just stampede out. Maybe they don't need it. I wouldn't mind them going for like another hero to deal with the Will-O-Wisp, but it's also that Infest kind of carrier. Ooh, I was going to even bring up Starladder if they wanted to ban it, but they could actually Starladder on their own. Keen. I mean, Lifestealer can dispel off the Corrosive Haze. They will. Okay, so they're going to pick it up here. I guess that's why they don't ban it. So at least you have a way to deal with a Rage TP out now with the Bashes, but you do have... It's into an Enchantress, and if I remember correctly, you can dispel the Guardian Sprint, so your kind of escapability is slightly lackluster. They're going to get their own roaming hero as well for Dire, so it's going to kind of be who's going to be able to make a lot more plays early. I think the Earth Spirit or Earthshaker. I think the Earth Spirit's going to be a lot better at this, and I'd hope to see King go for someone in the safe and mid lane who can provide a kill threat at least. You hate having a roamer who can't go to any lanes because you don't have any kill threat. It just makes the heroes pretty useless right now, so not a lot of lockdown coming through from Avengers. I doubt we're going to see that Morph Earthshaker as well. I mean, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because game 1 we saw the Morphling and the team that was against, so we saw the Earthshaker and the team against it ban the Morphling. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because you can still kind of run it mid lane, and the waveform to be able to kind of get away from the Earth Spirit kickback or something like that is really nice. But trying to look if they do have last pick for Keen, and they see their safe lane at least the carry matchup, so they'll probably go for their carry here, I imagine, and I'll leave Yee's hero till last. I mean, they don't really deal with the Phantom Lancer too well. I think Lifestealer does come online at a relatively good timing though. You know, Earthshaker's very good against kind of a bunch of illusions, heroes, etc. But I always say that Phantom Lancer, if you're at this high level, you're well aware of how you have to play against the Earthshaker, and just as soon as you doppelganger, you got to send the illusions straight away and send them away from you, and hopefully on the Earthshaker to cancel the blink. But yeah, we could see the Slark potentially. There's someone more to... Okay, this is very, very physical damage orientated. I'm a little worried. Like, Coddle doesn't really provide too much damage as the game goes on. Unfortunately, Dire might... They could fit a Wyvern in here, but they might be worried about getting morphed, because then Lifestealer and Wyvern, very good targets for the morph. The only reason why I say that is because, look at this. Amplifies physical damage and is physical damage orientated, and the same with Mag with the Empower. So if Dire can maybe get some hero that's going to be able to build like a Crimson and armor, and also someone who naturally has armor, you know, unfortunately DK's not really getting picked up. But my issue is you're going against a hero that's going to naturally build a halberd right now, so it also provides some kill threat throughout the laning stage as well. The issue with Mag is that you're very slow. Like, kind of, you want the Echo Saber blink, and before you get that, you don't really show up to any fights, which is kind of my issue right now. So Mag can kind of get ran over if he doesn't get these items. So if Dire can kind of play like a faster lineup potentially, like Lifestealer can start infiltrating the lanes and pressuring out the towers. They're gonna Pango, okay. I mean, the Lucky Shot, that's great. Another Disarm coming through. It's not kind of the armor we're speaking about, but it's more, it's a great hero, gains some physical damage with the Disarm. And also, I wonder how they play the... I mean, I have to imagine it's probably going to be a Pango safe lane. And they do have, what, RP Bash to go through any BKBs, so Magic Immunity.
10 seconds remaining.
It's hard to get the RP on the Rolling Thunder, though, because if you blink on top of him, it's just going to stun you up. They'll probably ban... I mean, you don't want to anti-mage this game. Troll's gone. Who's it? How does Terrorblade feel? Enchantress doesn't provide any kill threat. The Pango's a little annoying to deal with the illusions. I like the DK ban. We brought up the armor that I think it's nice. I still don't think they need catch, but I'm trying to think of what melee hero King can go for. PA could be decent. PA actually could be pretty nice with the Coddle. I think they... Ooh.
10 seconds remaining.
They could also go for some magic damage, but even then, it's against a lifestealer. You kind of want physical.
5 seconds remaining.
So I think I'm fine with them committing for like another very heavy physical damage. They ban the Void, okay. Void ban. I guess just a magic immune lockdown. They don't have a lot of damage outside Chrono, which is always worrisome, but it's a very interesting Void ban. I think this hero has to come online relatively around the lifestealer timing and be very tanky to kind of survive the ultis, because when Keen don't have ultis, they don't win fights, I think. If they don't connect on RP or Will-O-Wisp, then they're in a really bad spot. So if they can survive these combos, it's going to be important. The issue is DK's gone, and I mean, you can conquer here if you want. Does it fit? I mean, I guess they can still, what, Pango 2, Earthshaker 3 and put and pick up a support. Even Enchantress can play like a different role as well. I don't think they'll do that. I think it is the Earthshaker 4. I mean, we haven't seen that hero be played as a core, but they do at least have some flexibility. But they got to be careful. Like this pick, you know, we could honestly see like a Puck coming through. It's very nice to kind of control the Starladder mag. They don't have the greatest catch right now, like no instant stuns. I guess the Earth Spirit, if you get the silence, but it's a pretty good Puck game, and also just allowing kind of the Wombo to come through. I'm just trying to think of some playmaking heroes and someone you can roam with. Well, at least help the lanes early. Void Spirit's still there as well. I don't know. Deska didn't have the greatest performance last game with the Void Spirit, so maybe they're going to feel kind of opposed to picking this one up. It's a difficult thing because it's a blind... I guess you do see your mag, but, you know, mag can probably go safe lane still, so you got to make sure it's a decent matchup in case they do just get countered and put the mag safe lane, which is always an issue when you don't have the last pick coming through.
Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
They do. They do. We brought it up earlier with the Earthshaker. This is very greedy. We brought it up earlier. They might just OD now, but I think that's rough. I think you... This is tough now. If you OD, you force the mag safe lane. You could probably go for like... The issue is because the mag's a core and you're not going to give him power to your... You kind of play very greedy and not really play around your cores to give them the empower, so... They could Slark. The lucky shot's annoying. Slark is really good against the Morphling, because of single target orientation. They can still PL2. They're gonna okay, so they do put the mag side lane. They're gonna go for the Shadow Flame mid. It is a very greedy draft from Dire, and the fact that the Shadow Fiend gives them mixed damage as well and a lot more minus armor. So I was thinking about I was thinking about the Gyro earlier just because of how physical orientated they were already with the Starladder mag, because Gyro is very split damage, and they kind of go at least in that route, but it's also a decent matchup versus Morphling. But how does he... Side mag up against Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu's got a good Pango as well. I'm going to add that one out there, but I mean, okay, so the Dire, their timing is level 18 on Morphling. So my issue is right now is that it's kind of both teams don't have too fast paced. I think Keen might be a little better with the Earth Spirit Starladder. Starladder might go for like 2 points in Bash and go a couple more points in Guardian Sprint just so he can make a little bit more plays. I think that, like I said, Matt kind of wants Blink Echo Saber till he can start making movements across the map and showing up to fights, and Shadow Fiend probably like Yasha BKB maybe. I need to look at Dire's heroes again if he wants a BKB second item. You kind of want it around the Morphling kind of timing with the Earthshaker. But right now, I think that Dire might come online a little bit too slow. Because Lifestealer kind of... The Lifestealer doesn't have as much damage in the early game with the change to the Feast, but you scale a lot better into the late game. So right now, the thing I'm worried about is that X has to get like a Maelstrom Halberd. Halberd's incredible this game. I mean, it's just naturally super strong in the Lifestealer anyway, but he might actually have to show up to a little bit more fights once he has Maelstrom, which is kind of you want to try and flash farm until you get that Halberd, but the issue is you have to make space for the Morphling now. You know, it's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. Because this hero, I mean, at least he's mid, so he's going to get solo experience, which is nice, because, you know, Morphling... They might just get pressured out, man. I think they're going to lack some damage. Like, Xiao Yu's probably going to have to play the game of his life.
30 seconds to battle.
I'm trying to... the Ag's Morphling. Man, it's a thing you live by. If you get it, it's the probability of you winning goes up, but if you don't get it, man, and if you don't get it at a good timing, at least you can just kind of draft all around it and not have anything to work with. So I mean, this is a win condition now. The Morphling timing with the Earthshaker, if they're able to get it at a decent time before Radiant really get the items. The issue is, of course, you can't rush the items because you need the level 18, you know, with the morph duration from the 15 talent and the morph maxed out. So you have this full uptime. So let's see how much priority they actually give Deska. I mean, what's the damage output? So he's 62 base, 44. He's got 2 mangoes, so I mean, I'm almost certain he goes Razors. I don't think I've seen a Shadow Fiend not go Razors unless they're with a Clockwork. Well, this is it. Both teams, one opportunity to at least continue through these minor qualifiers. Let's see what both teams have some very good roaming heroes. You know, the Earth Spirit along with the Earthshaker. See what little bit of emphasis they can have. There's a lot of kill potential as well. You already see the Enchantress. They can get some body blocks, and SRF is going to be able to get first blood. Even without the bash, really nicely played. That setup crush into the roll. This is a good start. I mean, Mian blocked the camp, I guess, just for the pull through. I'm kind of surprised because their lane's already pushing out. I'm surprised he blocked it and didn't pull the way back. Interesting. That's a good start. Good start for the boys Zoro and King Gaming, considering this top lane is going to be really good, and they've got a lane where they can. We tried to get the secure. I mean, they did at least not get denied, which is the main thing. But Yim's going on a bit of a mission right now. It looks like. Gonna make sure Xiao Yu is pushing the wave in. We can stack up the next wave as well, so Yim should get there. Should. All right, there you go. It's nice. So naturally the wave's going to push in, so they should get this creep equilibrium back. They haven't blocked the small camp. They have a hard camp to work around with the pull as well, so it looks like instead... Yim, is he going to go for a triple? No, he's just going to TP out. So, I mean, you already see Destiny. Probably could have... looks like he's going to stack the Ancients. I'm surprised he actually didn't prioritize stacking the small camp, because by the time he stacked it and this creep wave came to, he might have had a double stack here to be able to deal with the wave pushing in. But I mean, now Xiao Yu is going to get a lot of experience here, so they've done a great job at kind of enabling the pain go. But SRF for the bash. Enchantress slowed up, does at least have the level 2 for the enchant, and they might be able to turn actually. I mean, X doesn't have too much damage early. No Orb of Venom as well to start off with against 2 melee heroes is an interesting choice about it. I mean, the fact that Lifesteal has so much attack speed and movement speed now with the change. I mean, you can constantly just be able to get the right clicks through and harass really easily with the orb slow, just staying on top of them. So I'm kind of surprised in that regard. But So Deska's got to make sure he doesn't kind of play around on the low HP. Of course, if you get double, triple raise, it makes it a little worrisome. He's just going to waveform commit here, so even then. The good thing you're a ranged hero, so it makes it very difficult for Yi to actually stack up the raises. Of course, against the melee, they're naturally going to be on the creep wave, so it makes it a lot easier. But I love the ward positioning right now from both teams. I mean, very defensive. Even though Radiant do scout up the Earthshaker, force a TP instead. So just got to always make sure sometimes you question like, why is he not backing off early, considering they would have seen him from a mile away. But if he backs off early, then Earthshaker just knows there's a ward in the area, easily would be able to de-ward it. He might still have an understanding that with how defensive, and this is a very common ward. I mean, a lot of the time when you have a position 4 that's going to roam, you try and get a ward on the high ground here. And of course, I mean, it's a dire offlane. Oh, sorry, it's a dire position 4 as well. So if it was a Radiant position 4, then their ward would be up here. Although sometimes I've seen a ward like here because it scouts out this little river spot and also the high ground as well. So it's always interesting, just different placing of wards to be able to help out with any rotations from the 4s. But we haven't seen too much emphasis on Mian kind of playing around mid. He's constantly blocking this up as well. So lane's very much on their favor right now for Dire. But once again, they're going to get aggressive on the Enchantress here. There's only still 1 point in the bash here, so will the damage be enough? SRF trying to man fight here. It's like even then, I mean, it's very difficult to man fight into a lifestealer who has Javelin and 2 points in Feast, but wait, 5? What the? How did he? Oh, I guess they had the... Oh my lord, that's a lot of nuke. I guess that's why he had 5. I'm surprised he didn't kill him. I guess even with 2 points in the attribute shift, that's interesting. Dude, I was like, how does he have 5 raises? I mean, just reveals his ward on the high ground. I think he's fine with doing that because it's only got 30 seconds, but might be able to... Oh, he doesn't have a Tango though. Well, he's still got the attack range. I keep forgetting about this. The fact that he right-clicked when he was kind of in fog, or naturally if they didn't have a ward there, but... So again, top the aggression with the bash coming through SRF. Now level 4, so that extra damage will be enough. Meowmeow's going to try and TP. Will be successful at it, so no Javelin procs at the last second. So another kill for King Gaming at this top side. A lot of emphasis coming through. You see bot though, so we haven't put too much emphasis here. Xiao Yu's having quite the time, man. 30-3 compared to the 28-3. Farming up really, really nicely. And he's solo as well. The issue is that Yim's not getting anything across the map. I mean, just hits level 2 now. Of course, the Earthshaker 2 is not very important. I mean, you don't... Once you get the Aftershock, then it's nice because you have the double stun. But Xiao Yu is... Yeah, he's having quite the game. And we spoke about that. I think that Xiao Yu really has to try and make a lot of emphasis and at least a lot of plays across the map. And they also do have the fissure to kind of play around with the Rolling Thunder, like bouncing off it and back onto one of the heroes. So... Camera's got to be careful. He has also skilled up the RP. Sometimes we see the mag going for a second point in the shockwave. Looks like he didn't get that stack on the Ancients as well. They've got a stack around the medium camp, one around the hard camp as well, but that'll be the Shadow Fiend's stacks to take. So chuck out the RP here, so heavy commitment just for the Earthshaker, but I guess at least they're putting the RP on cooldown, so it'll net them a kill. It's very similar to what we see as soon as the Void gets the level 6 in the Chronosphere. You kind of just want to try and use that Chrono as soon as possible to try and secure a little bit of gold and experience, but it does at least put it on cooldown now. SRF Enchant, so just going to be able to dispel off the sprint here, so won't be able to close the distance on top of the Enchantress here, so really nicely played. And now Yim's going to rotate forward as well. We'll have roll up in a couple of seconds. These Javelin procs are doing a lot of damage right now, and very nice positioning from the Earthshaker is going to be able to stop any disengage coming through, but they're going to try and set up for the raise potentially. I mean, okay, never mind. Destiny's just going to show. Oh, Yim. Alright, well, that was faster than I could react. I got a reaction, but not enough words. You can't play around low HP with 4 points up in raises. That's what's going to happen. And now they do get the stun still. Stick charges might be enough to keep Enchantress alive, along with that Infest, a little bit of bonus health. So he's trying to make it to the backline, but they will have the Orb of Venom slow. Now X is going to be careful as well. So, I mean, 5 kills right now from King Gaming. We spoke about the previous 2 games. They've been able to win all of the laning stages, having very good advantages going in. And now they have 2 heroes that are going to flash farm the jungle to oblivion. So this will give some very nice solo experience and a little bit of gold to any supports that want to take the lanes. And looks like they're finally just going to give up bot. The Coddle is a very good hero to be able to just kind of soak up experience. Oh, you're in a bit of a spot here, aren't you? Might be able to TP out before Xiao Yu is able to get the Rolling Thunder. Just kind of wants to hold on to this as long as possible, but oh, goes the wrong way here. Xiao Yu's gonna be oh, it's funny as just ring around the Rosie who can survive in the trees long enough, but we'll find him. Alright, so Elliott's second kill finally, but Shadow Fiend caught out on the wrong side of the fissure now, so it looks like he will get brought down. Gonna try and put whatever damage he can, but in the meantime, they do find X, so SRF with the level 6 coming through, just a little bit of amplification, 3 points in the bash as well. They're gonna try and take the tower though, so Deska's having a decent time, you know. Actually, I see that far out. He's not lasting well, never mind. I mean, I saw level 7, I'm like, oh, he's doing okay actually, but oh, this is a little rough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nice Hadouken. But he's got the Morbid Mask now, so he's just going to be able to go from lane to jungle. Be full agi and not really have to worry about the sustain now with that being able to come through. But at least they do get you know, a couple of kills. 3 now for Dire considering the 6 on Keen. But the good thing about Deska not having the greatest lane is that Radiant can't really pressure him. We brought up that Mag really wants this Blink Echo Saber timing. Looks like Kemma's going to come down bot with the RP, just try and take the lane. Kind of surprised he's not going top and pushing up the tower because you have this threat of the RP now, and even whoever gets the first tower, you have a big advantage because now if the enemy team try and naturally the first tower you want is the enemy's safe lane, just because you try and control their oh god, that I gotta always remember that when you're in the lobby as a spectator, for some reason the lines are very different if you're like in a game or not. Let's see if I do it fast. Oh wait, what? That was oh, I mean it was a little. Not the greatest circle. We're getting sidetracked. That doesn't matter. But I think they have a much bigger kind of ulti timing to be able to pressure out this tower and force the lifesteal out of the lane. But the good thing is that X, I mean, he's got the Maelstrom now already, so even if he does get forced out, he'll just go bot and try and trade both safe lane towers. But yeah, the tower, if whatever team gets the first tower, you can either then respond to the enemy team's aggression on your safe lane tower, or you can just say frick it, we're gonna go mid and take their tier 1 instead. A lot of times you don't have enough damage to be able to pressure that tier 2, of course, that little bit of bonus armor, and just of course how deep it is as well, and then the health is too much for them to handle. But it's kind of just I mean, 9 kills 10 minutes in, slightly a static game considering. Looks like both teams pretty content with just getting whatever farm they can. X fine. What is Shadowfin going as well? He's gonna go ooh. The Masker Man is interesting. Gonna try. Oh, he does make it to the low ground. Nice kick from Miam, but Fissure might be able to provide a little bit of space. Shadowfiend does have the movement speed coming through from the Faded Brooch, but it's not really going to be able to close the distance. I guess the Blinding Light's not going to help out too much either, but the Masker Madness is interesting choice here. Well, they pulled the Catapult Wave. That's actually really nice. Probably could have been able to take the tower, or at least pressure it a little bit more. Yim's doing a good job getting us whatever experience he can. He's closing in on the level 6, unfortunately. It looks like both the supports actually for Dire aren't the greatest level right now, but they're going to force a hero. Xiao Yu treads Vlad's. Starting to see this a lot more on the offlane Pangos. I've started seeing this on KP when they were having their run through of course, the Southeast Asia qualifiers, and now it looks like Xiao Yu, very similar build as well. The treads, Vlad's, I believe this is into the Soul Ring as well, that we see pretty frequently. Well, now on the Pango, but just the spam out that you have with the Swashbuck was really nice because he does get the mana regen as well, which is interesting. I think the Soul Ring, you don't need the mana regen. He's actually going to go Greaves with the Ring of Regen. Also, the fact that a lot of the tier 1 neutral items now are very orientated. Silence roll. They'll need the RP and drop everything onto the Morphling, and it will be enough, but it's a heavy commitment. They do get a big kill though, because that's a win condition for Dire. Yu's going to show up, but can't really make anything happen, so let's see if they can get something out of this kill. You know, T1 tower mid still is very low, and in the meantime as well, he's just getting some pressure onto this bottom side here. So he's actually going to go Mask of Madness into the BKB. He went the Spell Amp. Wait, what? Why do you go Spell Amp if you go Mask of Madness? And if you're going for this right click build, why don't you go attack? Okay. I mean, surely the attack speed from the Mask of
Dire's
Madness,
bottom tower
you
is
still kind of
under
want that
attack.
20. What's the gloves again? 20, so it is 20. So it's actually only 400 gold, I guess. Okay, interesting, but... Again, they're just going to try and put pressure on Deska. I mean, he does get the strength morph out in the meantime, but the fact that they're just showing he can't come up and farm, and he's actually going to go for a shotgun build first item. Sometimes we see the Morphling go for, like, Linken's into Ags, Manta into Ags, but Xiao Yu, he's committed for the Swashbuckle here. If we can get the ultimate off, it looks like the stuns from Radiant will make this a little bit difficult now. Yim's going to rotate forward. They only have 2 heroes on Dire, now they're kind of stuck next to the tower. Looks like there are some rotations. Deska along with the Enchantress here, roll forward. Life still has the rage. They're going to think about turning it. Nice Fissure holds two of them back now. Spirit's committed for the roll, so he's got to be careful, however. Dire, can they disengage? Deska's got the waveform, but SRF's going to try and catch him on the back line here. Crushes off the mark, but still with the minus armor, they're going to be able to melt through the Earthshaker, and they're not done just yet. Still have the bonus health along with the movement speed coming through. So the Infest. 415%, but nice. They get a 2-1. They get a 2 kills because Pango died, and a tower as well. So 2,000 net worth lead right now for Radiant. Going back to what I was speaking about earlier with the neutral items, a lot of tier 1 neutral items are very stat orientated, and like stat orientated mana pool or mana regen. You know, we can literally go through the whole list and say like stat. You know, we're not going to do this, but stat, regen, or maybe I might mana stats. And even the tier 2s are relatively decent as well. So mainly the tier 1s are kind of helping out with mana pool, mana regen stats. So a lot of time, anyone who has like a mana regen talent, you don't really go for it anymore, which I'm kind of intrigued on why he didn't go Swashbuckle range. Mag. So that's the skewer with rotations coming through. You need to control up the Pangolier before he can get the ultimate off in the meantime, but it looks like Kemen's damage thanks to the Echo Saber is going to be enough. Shockwave unfortunately off the mark, but still Miam wants to hunt for some more here. A couple of rotations now. The Echo Slam, a lot of damage now onto 2. Deska with the waveform forward, and it looks like they're going to clean up. Nicely played right before the bounty as well. Someone kind of has to take this, but here we go. Alright. SRF went drums first. Interesting. Drums into Vlad's, it looks like. Wants to find X though. And has he got the bash charges? He doesn't, so this is a difficult kill considering. They don't have any vision on the high gun and no reinforcements as well to help out, but don't get me wrong though, like Swashbuckle range is not the greatest, and Pango is very reliant on mana, but you know, if you don't get those neutral items, which he doesn't even have right now, considering any of them would be pretty decent instead of none, but yeah, don't get me wrong, still the other talent is not the greatest, but with the recent change, you can kind of go for that little bit of greed instead. But net worth lead still slowly increasing right now from Keen. I mean, they're giving a lot of space to the mag, and this is kind of what I mean, the hero has to be top of the net worth and kind of top level, and I imagine he would be, yeah. 14 along with the Shadow Fiend as well. They must have a massive level advantage, and they do, and I think at this time in the game, level advantage is probably a lot more important than your items right now. Item timings, you know, Blink, BKB, yes, but there's more bigger item timings as the game goes on. It's kind of level dependent around kind of the first 15, so to say. You know, you can't just pinpoint it straight down to that, but even then, I think the fact that, I mean, you take a look, man. It's 6,000 experience lead, 3,000 net worth lead as well, and just the levels on all the cores right now, the fact that they're 2 ahead. Really nice showing. They do flash farm incredibly fast throughout the jungle though, which I think is what's helping. But you know, let's try and chain lock down Deska here. Doesn't get the strength morph out in the meantime. SRF needs the bash charges. He won't be able to get them. So waveform back, but they should have the movement speed to still close the distance here with the Guardian Sprint maxed out. Nice wave. Earth Spirit just the tip connects with the roll. Still thinking about taking the fight though. They'll rotate in numbers. They don't have the Earthshaker, and especially without the Echo up, doesn't really want to kind of join here. Xiao Yu, Rolling Thunder. They're right near the stairs, so Xiao Yu can bounce back and forth right now. Doesn't cancel. Oh, roll at the last second. Will get cancelled here, but now the RP came up with a blink reveal. Will-O-Wisp going to get dropped as well. They'll have the cleave. They're trying to with the Enchantress first. Now the Lifesteal is going to be the next target as well. The Rage won't be able to protect him through the bash. Coral. Another really good fight for Keen. They could Roche now. I mean, they have, what, level, yeah, second point in Corrosive Haze, almost maxed out the presence, as well presence of the Dark Lord, that, yeah, they're going to shred through Roche. I mean, What a life that would be to live and respawn constantly through the ages of Dota and see the ups and downs of teams to be the thing that wins games and loses games. I like that Deska's not going for the E-Blade first as well. I think the Manta's nice against the Silence and the Corrosive Haze. I'm just very worried that he's not farming at all. Like, I mean, he's behind the Starladder, and Starladder doesn't flash farm. I mean, the hero's 4-0 and 5, and this hero very much relies on kind of just getting kills after kills and having a very good lane dominating performance. And the fact that Dire draft around the Morphling is very worrisome. The Morph Earthshaker combo, and now it's getting to the stage where Radiant with this Aegis, they can just group up. I mean, Shadowfiend has a BKB now. They didn't go for the presence affecting buildings, but I don't think that's going to matter, considering Dire don't have the greatest way to defend the towers. Like, no wave clear from afar, nothing like the Coddle. So it's going to make it very difficult for them to actually do anything about this. And I mean, RP is going to be up in 30 seconds as well. So I was trying to take the tier 2 tower mid. The side lanes are getting pushed out reasonably well, but I mean, even then. So Earthshaker does have a blink now too. But look at the vision from Radiant, really wanting to try to control the jungle. Make it super difficult for the Morphling to get farm. And if they can kind of... I think you're fine with taking all these outer towers and not going higher ground with this Aegis to try and suffocate Dire inside the base. I don't think they go high ground. They might just save... They might kind of balls it, but I think it's more important to try and get all the outer towers and make it very difficult for the Morphling to get any farm. You know, Radiant, they have decent catch. You know, once Starladder especially gets Blink, it's going to get even more amplified, but I think it's more the stage where you see what Xiaoyu, what he's doing is kind of try and split push as much as possible. And he still hasn't bought anything after the Vlads as well. 3,100 gold in the bank. He doesn't really know what he wants right now. If he wants the Basher impact, just kind of out Keen Gaming or not. They're going to group up. Are they smoking? No smoke here. They do have a very nice ward right before that 10-minute interval as well, before the bounties, however. King Gaming, they do have everyone in the area, so it looks like instead they're going to do a cross-map smoke and trying to head towards the top side. In with this Infest. You know, we saw game 1 with the Lifesteal and the Infest kind of bombs that they were able to have. SRF is not an easy kill. They might attempt with everyone on the backline here, but even then, instead, they're going to go mid. Radiant, they make the first move straight on top of the Painkiller. They might have to force out the RP, so Xiaoyu can't disengage, but they drop the Will-O-Wisp. The follow-up as well from the Earth Spirit stops at least the Rolling Thunder, and now Enchantress going to end up falling as well. Lifesteal straight pops out. They're going to try and deal with at least the supporting Destiny, but in the meantime, RP onto 2. They're going to have the cleave coming through. Now with the follow-up from the Fear. Oh, what a fight from Keen. Going from bad to worse right now from Dire. Keen are just way too strong, and they're going to run up Pygon. They were just trying to find the smoke initiation on top of the perfect target, and instead, Radiant, they're the ones to initiate for the, I mean, the 2-man RP. Look at the cleave go to work. Kama's just got so much damage now. I mean, they've hit their timing before Dire have, and I don't know if the Morphling's going to come online fast enough. I mean, it's not the longest death timer, but it's not going to matter. Like, they'll just shred through the buildings. They'll take the melee. They can even take the range if they really want to. And yeah, why not? Couple of hits. And they still have the Aegis for another minute 30 as well. So you already see Destiny. After that death, just straight to top lane. Lovely play from the Coddle. It's going to straight deep push this out. Radiant already have a couple of heroes grouped up in the area. A decent ward as well. I mean, it's not really higher up onto the northern side, but they're going to try and get another tier 2 out of this. So, I mean, I said that maybe Radiant might just go for all the outer towers. Instead, why not just go higher count and get a full lane of racks? And now, Ventress should be fine. Dude, Mian's having an incredible game on the Earth Spirit. Been a part of 14 out of the 18 kills. The amount of roll finds he's able to find. I mean, just the Pango almost was able to disengage there, but catching him right before the Rolling Thunder. Kama's got to be careful. Radiant, they do have a couple of TPs available. They're going to force some heroes here. RP's on cooldown though. I have everyone in the area as well. Reversal Silence coming through. Is it enough? Xiaoyu still kind of man fight here. Rolling Thunder now with the Fidget to be able to bounce off back onto the wall. This could be decent, but in comes the Radiant lineup here. They're going to try and TP out Xiaoyu. We'll be fine. BKB force from camera as well. Okay.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I was going to say, they could be decent with the fissure positioning and being able to bounce off the wall, but looks like Dire just really didn't want to dive. I mean, they just don't have the damage right now. He's not even going second item ags. I'm very worried about their draft now. Like, I feel like you...
Dire's bottom tower
Oh, this is rough. I mean, the third... What's the probability? 96% for Keen Gaming.
Dire's bottom tower.
They want to continue on. I mean, it's looking strong, it's looking good, and Deska just might be the next target as well. It's a little bit difficult with the Guardian Sprint. As soon as you hit the water, speed of light, so he'll make it out. But I thought the big timing from Dire was going to be the second item Aghanims on the Morphling, and it felt like that's what they were drafting around, and now being down 12,000 gold, just the fact that Radiant just flash farmed so much faster than them with the Shadow Fiend, with the Magnus who's setting up on top already. Might be able to find Deska here with a skewer perfectly placed. We'll be able to cancel the TP, and the rest of the Radiant going to be able to close the distance. They do have Pango on the backline. Maybe if you get a lucky shot to help him out here, but the Will-O-Wisp going to get dropped as well. They'll find the Pango, a roll forward. Do they have the Silence Fall as well to try and hold the Pangoli in place here? Bash, Crush will be needed potentially. Xiao Yu doesn't make it out. That last little tick of damage in our Deska, with the TP still already being used. They'll find him stuck out in the trees. Keen Gaming, another two heroes going to be at their... at least dying by their hands. The big one in the Morphling as well, the win condition from Dire. They might use this time to try and de-ward the high ground area. So what has X actually got? I haven't even paid too much attention to the lifesteal. Maelstrom Halberd, 1900 gold in the bank, but... Oh, dude, this is such a fast movement from the guys over on Keen. You thought they were going to try and go deal with the high ground? No, let's just protect the vision right now. And now lifesteal is your next target as well. Roll. Not on the mark, but still, as long as they can... I mean, he doesn't have a TP available, so X just has to man fight right now, and no one being able to infest. Going to try and run to the neutral, see if he can get there in the meantime, but, I mean, they should still be able to bring down the neutral if he jumps inside of it. They'll have the movement speed, and now it's literally the only hope for X. TP's up in 25 seconds. Unfortunately, it won't be there in time. Another crush. It'll be there. This game starting to get out of hand for Dire. Of course, they don't have the Aegis though, so do King Gaming really want to wait around for this? I mean, 16,000 net worth lead, one game away from being eliminated. Are you going to push the pressure and force a higher ground push, or are you going to play it disciplined and wait for the second Aegis? Looks like discipline's the way to go. Just suffocate Dire inside the base. Try and get some vision at least by the lane, so if they run out, you'll scout them. I mean, this is a perfect one at that. Morphling as well, man. Kamet. Oh no. Deska. Oh no, not again. Waveform. Can he get the skewer? Oh, he stuns him. He doesn't get the strength morph off as well. Willed the last second here, but they have the RP if need be. It's just way too much damage right now. Deska has the Guardian Sprint. Waveform as well. Where's the follow-up? Kema. Skewer's on cooldown, unfortunately, but they're trying to collapse off to the side here. Deska's got to be careful. Able to get the strength morph out. Dire going to try and collapse and help out his fellow core now. Him, blink forward, has the Echo Slam available, but the RP, BKB as well. Kemet's doing way too much damage right now. They'll find the Earthshaker, joins him as well with the lifesteal and Morphling. They'll just drop the G's. Dire, they've got to tap out. That is it for their run in the minor qualifiers, but King Gaming, what a performance. I mean, it had to be known that when you go for the lineup that is reliant on kind of 25 minutes even, just... What I'm trying to say is that King Gaming literally won every early game this series, and when you draft your third lineup into something that needs to come online later on and not have a good laning stage, I think it sets you up for a loss, honestly. And it got to the stage where it's so greedy, man. Like, Life Stealer, Maelstrom Halberd's really the timing. Until then, you don't have a lot of damage. Morphling mid doesn't make plays, doesn't do anything you want to farm. It's such a greedy draft. And they kind of just fell into the trap of Morphling Earthshaker is not a free win anymore. It's just not. You can't go for it. And they fell into that trap, and I mean, what a performance from Keen. 11-0-6 on Camera, 6-1 and 2. I mean, it's not even the fact, Aster, if all the cores had a good game, everyone only died 6 times, but it's just the draft. Second draft was odd for Dire, third draft was odd as well. And I think Keen just really had a better understanding of how they had to play the game. Get these items, you know you're going to get them at a faster timing than Dire do, so start to ramp up the pressure when you get them, and then suffocate Morphling, you know, in a portion of the map where he can't get as much farm as possible. And you see they just flash farm so fast. Like, props to Mian, man. That Earth Spirit play was, woof. We don't see that hero a lot anymore, but the lane with the Starladder, a lot of kill threat, and the catches he had through the fights, the control, a really, really good performance. And so far today, Keen have not lost with the Coddle. You know, the 2 games against Avangers are able to take both of them the game earlier on as well. They're able to win that, but this is going to be it for this best of 3. So unfortunately, Avangers, they will get knocked out of the Starladder Imber TV minor qualifiers, but King Gaming, they're going to move on to the lower bracket final. So still one more series they need to take before they can make it to the grand finals. So we're going to have another best of 3 tonight. It's going to be Newbee up against Aster in the upper bracket finals. Winner will move on to the grand finals. The loser is going to face King Gaming. We'll take a quick break. It might be a little bit longer between this series considering the next. We are actually a little bit... they might push it forward. I'll keep you guys updated with how long it's going to be though. But King Gaming, they're going to move on. Next series is Newbee up against Aster. We are into our last best of 3 of the night. Team Aster taking on Newbee. This will determine who's going to make it over to the grand finals for the Starladder Ember TV minor qualifiers, of course.
Radiant team pick.
What a game this is going to be as well. Both teams in the upper bracket finals. Both their best of 3s earlier were 2-1s. We've had every series so far has been a 2-1. Maybe this is already telling what the future is going to be. Let's see what's going to get switched up here. And quite the bands coming through. I mean, Earthshaker Lich, Newbee, a couple times. We've seen kind of the AA Earthshaker be opened up with. So they're going to at least take one of them out, and Aster actually go for the AA. So there we go. It's been a support that's been starting to get picked up pretty frequently. I think the reason why is that the Ice Blast feels really nice in regards to there's a lot of off position 3, position 4 heroes that are going for a very utility based kind of itemization, and there's a lot of tanky heroes as well. It's like a 20-minute group up, have whoever's got the most sustain kind of sometimes gets favored more. I'm not going to say always, but a lot of the time. And now this AA Ice Blast, it's really nice. It kind of forces you to sometimes ban out the Void. Like, the hero's not the greatest right now, but we are kind of seeing it picked up a little bit more just because of the factor that AA Void's a pretty potent combination. And I like this from Newbee. My only issue is they're picking a puck where they don't have last pick in the first phase, so they could just get TA'd. If they get TA'd, then it forces the puck to not be played as a 2 because that matchup is dog tier. You don't play puck into TA. Does not work at all. The reason is puck doesn't have any way to deal with refraction. TA always has kill threat on you the entirety of the game. Silence isn't too big of an issue. And you don't have armor as well in general. Puck very low on armor. I think it's either 0 or 1 starting armor, and they're still going to go to the Oracle into the A, so the matchup's a little iffy. I mean, False Promise buys you some time, but of course you can't heal throughout if they have Ice Blast, so it's kind of an interesting pair. I do think both these teams are going to prioritize the Troll Warlord. I know Aster love it. I mean, SCCC, since he transitioned to the 1 a while ago, I think it is definitely one of his best 1 heroes, and it just feels like a hero now that, in general, it feels like there's a lot of teams, kind of the China or Southeast Asia region, that I pay most attention to. Seems like a lot of these teams really like to favor the Troll. Not too sure about the other regions so far just yet. Aster going to go for the Void Spirit here. A hero that has some flexibility. We've seen some teams try and run it in the position 3. Teams can run it in the 1 as well, but it does seem like it kind of has like a set role in the 2 mainly. They will ban the Troll as well. So not a lot of control coming through against the Void. Kind of only the Puck, Silence, and Coil, which is interesting. I mean, I feel like it would be pretty decent, but it's going to give them some options where they want to run the Void. And as soon as I see the hero, I think it's mid, whereas Puck, I think it's probably like a 4.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see. If Newbee ban the TA, they want to try and put the Puck mid. If they don't, then they're going to keep the flexibility. We'll just chuck that out there. And you see the Troll is going to get banned out as well from Aster. So they're going to make sure they don't get the Oracle Troll combo. I think that's pretty potent, man. You've got like 14 seconds invulnerability, which is pretty much like a full team fight almost, and that's quite the way to be able to just man fight an entire fight and be able to stay alive there. But the Naga ban, they don't really deal with illusions too well. Puck's pretty decent, but it'll get to the stage where the Ensnare just sucks against the Puck. I'm kind of surprised they banned the Naga. I mean, it's a very early, and like they don't have a disruptor, which is a lot of the time when we see the Naga get picked up, or when there's kind of no one else to go for. They banned the Bat, so this makes me feel like a lot of time Bat's banned against a Troll, but you know, they might Treant, they might Timber. I'm trying to think of some other heroes that Bat's good against. I guess the Control vs Void Spirit's really nice, and being able to jump the AA. It seems like this is a pick to enable one hero to get picked up.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like a Puck That and
5
Oracle
seconds remaining.
starting is very odd in the draft as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna enable one of the cores they're gonna go for next. Although, can you even pick a tree though? Like, I brought up tree, but I think because the AA5, it kind of gets, you don't really play trees of 4 anymore. It was like he's still gone set 5. I wonder, where's tree honestly gone? I swear he didn't get nerfed that hard through the latest. I mean, I know he has been getting like nerfs here and there, little tweaks, but it feels like he's still pretty nice to have these lane dominating kind of supports to help out. I think we're seeing a lot more really strong cores come into the meta, being able to zone them out. You know, the Monkey Lifestealer, Slark's pretty good against matchups as well. Kind of Drow fell off, so maybe that's why the tree did as well, because you kind of needed to be able to protect the Drow in that regard. ET also fell off as well. While we got the chance, may as well bring that up. Let me get rid of the Morph thing.
Ember Spirit.
In an Ember. Well, 2 spirits at least. That's one thing to work out right now. They don't have the greatest way to deal with the hero. Like, Mugi's a pretty decent Ember player as well. So is AQ, but they've got a lot of flexibility right now from Newbee. As soon as I see an Ember, I'm like, you can OD. Oof, the classic Fade Shaman. I mean, he's one of the few people that still pick it up. It's an incredible Shaman game. You know, they could have they could have Rubik'd. I don't see Rubik ban. But Shaman gives you push, which kind of the Void Spirit and AA don't help out at all. So kind of that's really nice in that regard. But the instant hex against the Puck and Ember, 2 very elusive heroes, is a great way to deal with them this game. We might see some long range stun
5 seconds remaining.
to help out with anyone that's shackled. Unfortunately, Earthshaker's gone. And I don't think you'd go for... Oh, you might Monkey, honestly, with a Puck. Monkey Puck's a pretty potent combo. Just the coil holding him inside the Wukongs. I wouldn't mind it. I think that if they're going to, like, they don't see their offlane matchup, though, which is the issue. I guess you can still put it mid, but it's... If you do that, then the Puck gets forced to a support or offlane. They're gonna Timber, okay. Both teams... Newbee really prioritized the Timber. Before they picked up Mugi, they were literally like first phasing Timber. I mean, I haven't seen them play too much with Mugi, so I don't know if they still are, but they've always been a team that loved picking up the Timber at a very, very early timing. You know, Wizards incredible on the hero.
10 seconds remaining.
I think you OD, man. Like, it's such a good OD game. It's very good against the Timber, very good against the Ember. Your pure damage, you don't care about the Flame Guard, and then if anyone gets changed, you just astral them. My only issue is it's not good against the Puck, so they can still Ember safe lane and probably put the Puck mid in that regard. Now the reason why it's not is Puck, well, OD very much relies on his abilities, so the silence is detrimental, and Puck's got a good laning stage as well. Just being able to kind of like phase shift and stop the cast animation of the astral makes it a little annoying to play around. And it feels like the hero always pairs up well as the game goes on. Like any intel heroes, you're going to have reasonably good mana pool, but I think once you do get Hex on OD, then it kind of flips. But anyway, that's in that regard. Let's see if they do it. If they do, then it forces the Void Spirit to go on a different lane, either safe or off lane, which is maybe the one thing they're considering right now. Like, how do they want to actually put the Void Spirit, which is... It's really going to show Aster's hand right now with this pick. They don't have Last as well, which is an issue. This Timber puts them in an odd spot with their lanes. Like, do they... They have the AA at least. You know, of course, the Ice Blast, great against your active armor, but you've got the Oracle to keep you alive. Maybe you can buy some time with, like, a Yule Scepter or something. Now, that's a hero that's good against Timber. That's nice. I like that. I don't mind it versus Puck. I know the Silence is hard to play against and a little bit of AoE abilities. I think Slark against the Dream Call is okay. The reason I say that, you can just break the coil, like you can pre-Dark Pack, break the coil, and then the stun, you don't worry about it. They do ban the OD, so not really surprised. But so Slark is okay against coil. You still, of course, take the damage, which is the issue, but even then, the silence and the AoE damage is a little annoying. That's what Slark lacks. You know, Slark really likes versing kind of single target damage dealing heroes, and Newbee have a lot of AoE though. Like, even though it's good catch against the Ember, Very good against tanky Timber. If Timber comes online before the Slark, you can zone him out. Pure damages a lot and AoE damage destroys him. So Slark cannot play behind against the Timber. But these drawn out fights are going to favor Aster very much now with the Slark getting picked up and kind of using the Ice Blast to the maximum there. The question is on what they think. They ban out the okay, so they're just going to. We saw last in the second game of last series, the Bloodseeker destroy the Slark. Now Leshrak's still in the pool, but if you go like Puck Oracle, I feel like that core duo on Ember Timber Lesh would be very odd. I think you'll, yeah, the heroes on Newbee are very flexible right now. I mean, it's interesting how they draft around them. Like, they have not a lot of kind of...
5 seconds remaining.
Their catch is fine with the Puck Ember, but kind of stuns throughout fights is very lackluster, and I think Aster their control kind of might prevail here against... I say control, but it's just kind of the Shaman, actually, in Slark. They do go Shadowfiend. So a hero that's kind of multi-damage output with the physical... and magical, very nice burst versus the Timber. If they do get the chain lockdown. The Requiem as well was a decent way to be able to chain lock someone, like with the Fear afterwards.
10 seconds
yeah. So what, Void Spirit's going to be played as a 3, they'll give it to XXS.
5 seconds remaining.
Can they... I think Ember goes fine in that matchup. I haven't seen the Void Ember, especially in safe lane, but Oracle's not the greatest laning support. You could TA, but I feel like it's very greedy. You might be a little slow with Ember TA. I mean, TA can come online... Oh, sorry, Ember can come online pretty decent timing and make a lot of plays, but... I think you're fine with this going for like a support here. They need a stun. Like, I wouldn't mind a Lion. They are. Alright, well there we go. We called it at least. Alright. So what, Puck gets forced to a 4. They will go for the Mugi. Ember. My only issue is that they don't have stuns. Slark is actually decent into TA as well because you deal with refraction with 1 Dark Pack. So this is decent. What do we like? What do we like? I mean, Shaman AA is going to be food for TA, and they don't have great way. I think BKB is so good on Newbee. Like, they might just hit a BKB timing and just be full stride there. Is this a good enough Slark game? I think SCCC can go off. They don't have ways to deal with the Slark. But I think if Newbee get the lead and continue that advantage, it's going to be very hard for SCCC to take fights into the Puck AoE, Timber AoE. Naturally, Slark good against Timber, of course, but like I said, if you kind of start falling behind, it's very difficult. TA's always been known for that kind of good lane matchup versus the Shadowfiend as well, so this is going to be hell of a game, man. Wait, let's try and take a look at the heroes again when we're getting... I haven't gave like a definitive answer. Because this is, I mean, this is, I think, pretty wacky... I don't even know if wacky is the right word. It's just an interesting draft coming through from Newbee. Like, and the cause, I mean, even, it's a, what, Void Spirit offlane? You know, we've seen XXS play some interesting heroes in the offlane. You know, they've tried the Ember Spirit a couple times, which is, I mean, Ember Spirit offlane, I don't really see anyone else do that, but... The mid-game timing is the big question, kind of that 20-minute brawl. Like, who's going to have the advantage there? Like, as soon as you drop Serpent Wards, Timber just TPs to the tower and protects it. Fire out. This is a tricky one. I'm gonna go... Dude, Void Spirit side lane is just so questionable, but I think the Slark's good this game. Like, I think if they can give SCCC a really good game, then he's gonna be able to... I mean, this is not the good... It's not the start we were wanting, though. He's gonna end up getting first blood down bot. Wizard. Oh, no. Oh, mate, I'll take it back. Never mind, I take it back. Oh, Fade, he might get brought down as well. And dude, another chain's gonna be up. Look at the damage! Oh my lord, what is happening? Wizard, a double kill. Not a lot of experience. You see how much minimal experience they give. 2 kills. 2 kills is on 26. I have to imagine same as Oracle. But, alright, well that's a good start for Newbee. I'm not gonna lie, if draft aside, no, okay, let me rephrase this. I think Aster are probably the favorites going into this qualifier. I think they have higher expectations with the team they have, and I think they're a better team as well. But sometimes it's hard to kind of take that away when you look at a draft. Yeah, even TA can have a pretty good... dude, I'm 50-50. I gotta pick one though, so I'm gonna go Aster. Even after those 2 kills, I gotta pick one, so... This is a... so it's a Baboka? Ancient Apparition as well. No surprise there. Always forget that Baboka being on the 5 now and Fade on the 4, of course, but Wizard actually might fall here, he will. Dude, he didn't even Ether Shock. He just right-clicked him. Oh god, what is this game already? Oh my lord, 3 kills by a minute. Yeah, you blame the lag, brother. You blame the lag. Well, I mean, he doesn't have reactive armor, and I have to imagine SCCC has the essence, so he's just going to harass the crap load out of the Timbersaw, and there's not much YXC can really do. Because Fades, I mean, you gotta remember that the Park's base damage has been getting nerfed over time. I think it just got nerfed by 4 throughout the last patch, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, Fades still, this Shadow Shaman, very surprised we don't see the hero too much. I think any supports that are good laning wise, like you have a way to harass people out, you have lockdown, you've got a nuke, you've got an objective taking potential. You know, that's why I think Venge was getting picked up pretty frequently, because of her toolkit. Was had a stun, minus armor, could take Roche, defensive ability as well with a swap, and also initiation. So yeah, I'm very surprised Shaman's kind of started to fall off, which is very interesting. But Fade is one of those few players I should say, that does really like the Shaman, and it seems like they pick it up for him pretty frequently as well. I mean, he can make plays on it, man. Fade's still this godly position 4, like even after Vici, you know, he's still having, you know, quite the performance, even though Aster haven't really been in that position where he can shine too much, like haven't been playing as many games, unfortunately. Let's see though. So how's this top lane gonna work? Success with Evoke up against Faith and Mugi. So the Ember Spirit side lane, a lot of times you see them go for sometimes a point up in chains, just because you're kind of playing with another hero, so you want that set up for a kill potentially, and also you're not going to have as many Wizard. I mean, he's got it chains up, but kind of stuck in the trees makes it a little difficult. And now SCCC, oh yeah, 1 essence shift, perma baby, 2-2. So they're going to eat it up. Wizard, he got a double kill to start, but now all of a sudden still hasn't hit level 2 yet. Looks like YXC does drag the creep wave around, so this will give him level 2 at least. Is he going to need tangos? Oh, he's out. Oh no. Or he's gonna just chain all the way here, but he might miss a fair bit out of this. Wax is making sure he keeps it at least static, but ooh, that's rough, man. He didn't have TP. It's a little. What's he missing? Alright. Well, he didn't even miss any. He got at least a little bit of experience there. Of course, didn't get the last hit, but that's nice. Now he's gonna have level 2, so that pointy reactive armor will give him some survivability, but
Anyone got a bottle? Wait, under attack.
What? Hang on. Can you just deny it or pick it up? I feel like it's... Okay, I'm not going to bring it up. I feel like now he gets a full bottle, and that's questionable, but we won't talk anymore on it. So... They don't really... I don't think the Remnant's long enough stun, is it? Yeah, 1.2, so you don't really have a setup for the cold feet. It's kind of just the, you know, constant harass coming through. This is really interesting. I don't know if I should say it's greedy or not. Like, I haven't actually... I know some teams have been playing the Void Spirit off lane, and the hero can make a lot of plays early. So it's just interesting to see how they favor it. Like, it looks like he's going kind of the similar skill build with 2 points in the Resonant Pulse. Was it? Gotta be careful here. Just trying to steal whatever stacks they can. Slark's gonna go for a second point in Essence as well. Kind of see this Against the melee hero, you like that second point just for the increased duration of being able to hold the essence. Sometimes if you're against a range hero and you can't really harass too much, you want to try and max out the dark pack as soon as possible. Just it's going to provide you some potential to be able to fall back to the jungle if you do kind of get zoned out. And even if you don't, man, just... Okay. Still has that skill point available as well. It's all magical, right? Yeah, that's just the only physical. I'm kind of surprised he's holding a skill point in play. I guess maybe if they dive him, he needs that little bit of lockdown in the chains, and they don't have too much. Faith is... The Oracle can be a pretty aggressive support just with the amount of damage that Purifying Flames actually does. What? It's 2? That's interesting. Okay. So maybe you just don't want to tank... I mean... They're just going to go on Puck instead, I guess. I mean, you will have the Orb up, but the root coming through, I should say the leash, is going to make it a little bit difficult to disengage, so Triple C gets another Permagi. Really nice. I mean, they know they can't really kill Wizard because how tanky he is, and with a second point in the shackles. Now, as Triple C's still got a little bit of stolen essence, it's going to try and get towards the northern side to anticipate at least link away, but looks like with the pounce off the mark, that's AQ. So this is interesting second point in Timber Chain. I guess that you kind of want the damage to be able to man-fight the Slark, and that's kind of the only thing I can base it off. Because the tankier you go, it doesn't really help. Like, Slark's still going to steal a crap load of your stats, which is always annoying. So just being able to man-fight, I guess, is a little decent. He does have double brace along with the wand as well, so he's relatively tanky, 1k HP anyway, so... This is an interesting build. I mean, as an offlane player, find it always intriguing on how they skill build and itemize, but as Triple C hasn't got this essence from that last kill. Of course, it ends up falling, but now they're going to get the chains. Pounce will be able to follow up as well, and he doesn't have too much mana to work around with. Mango's available though if need be. Instead, he'll just pop the one charger, so... A little bit of harass, just trying to steal whatever essence. Because they know, like, they can go again if they want to. Fade is falling a little bit low though, but if they step up the mark, you see Fade's already kind of starting to position a little bit aggressively if they want to try and find... I mean, Waxy can just die here, yeah. Very lucky. One out, Timber Chain, they'll get the stance. Pounce is still there though, as Triple C with the Dark Pack, he's got to be careful though. Chain's not enough. They are forcing a lot of regen out, but now in the meantime, top lane, Mookie, trying to stay alive with the Slight, will be enough to dodge some damage here. So we got a lot of aggression happening down bot. That's pretty much where all the kills have been actually, right? Yeah, all the kills considering, you know, Wizard and the fall from Aster. So, you know, a decent start for them, and they're giving a lot of priority to Slark. I mean, unfortunately hasn't been getting too many kills, but at least you have the Permagi, I think, is the important thing. And Fade's also, he's a position for that. You give him something, he'll make it work. Like, we saw what he could do on Vici, you know, we've seen what he's able to do on Aster. You know, we see he plays like FY, Yapzor, Crit. I mean, I can go through them, man. GH. You see what these position 4s are able to do when you give them some opportunity to get farm and some experience. And our Fade is, I mean, he's already level 4, 650 into the game. The issue is Slark's not really getting too much solo experience, but even then, it looks like right now, actually, Fade's giving him some, which is really nice. I mean, once SCC, he really wants to try and max out the, well, at least get level 6 as fast as possible. Mid